Hey everybody, welcome to I can't do Mario said put some liveliness into it, and as soon as it came out of my mouth, I'm like, I can't do this.
It was too lively.
Too lively.
We are here for another week FNM Modern. Mark and Mario.
And now he's co-opting my introduction.
Back to your regularly scheduled program.
Your regular.
Here for round one, we have Patrick Aguilar on 8-rack versus Hutchinson.
You didn't even hit all the details. This is
Eldrazi Tron.
Top Deck Productions, brought to you by GameSwap and Mason, streaming on Twitch TV. We've got lots of fun board games to sell.
We do.
The store also has video games.
Do we need to? Are we required to say that?
Maybe. I don't know. I thought so. Well, anyway, we are back with Modern. And we didn't know that either of these players were on these decks. I was thinking it was going to be like Grixis Control versus Affinity or something, but
we didn't say we were located. We are located in Mason, Ohio, near Cincinnati.
Yep, northern.
That
suburb.
is part of our intro. Thank you for indicating that, Deathy TV.
He knows it better than we do. So looks like Chris has some Tron land. Who won the dice roll?
I don't know. And you know that might actually tell us who goes first in this matchup, though, because Patrick may have opted to be in the draw.
Yeah, I am still. So let me say this. I played against the Rack on Wednesday down in Kentucky, and my opponent decided to be on the draw. So he immediately telegraphed to me
that he's playing the Rack.
And so I'm like, okay, I'm gonna keep this mediocre hand that has 2 Voice of Resurgence in it. But I also had a Noble Hierarch. I think my hand was like 4 lands, voice, Hierarch. Like, that's an okay hand, but it's not worth keeping most of the time. But if he says I'm on the draw, I'm on the Rack, I'm definitely keeping that hand. It's amazing.
Right.
And then he lets me play a Hierarch, and then I just
then you just
win the game.
Yeah.
Like, you can't beat. And if you were on the play and you took my Hierarch, you might have had a chance.
So the Inquisition there from Patrick looks like it's gonna take Ballista instead of Warping Whale.
Warping Whale. Actually, seems pretty good in this matchup.
Yeah, you can counter some, like, Ace Pox is the most important thing.
Yeah, you can counter a small Pox. Also, putting out a guy that produces mana and is a body is not bad.
Yeah, it looks like
putting out the Scion.
So again, with these old Tron lands, Chris drew a 3rd Tron piece. Are the 2 in play currently different, or are they both towers?
No, I think that's the one I always think is a tower, but it's not.
Okay,
the one on bottom is
he did draw the 3rd Tron.
Yeah, the one on bottom is a tower.
There's another Inquisition which is going to either take Warping Whale or get countered by Warping Whale, so conceal some information there, I guess.
Seems fine, yeah.
And then we are casting our Rack off of Mutavault.
So the Rack is strictly card disadvantage right now. It's not going to do anything for a while, but theoretically it'll kill Chris eventually.
Maybe, unless he Patrick just dies to whatever
whatever
Eldrazi we're playing.
So
off Tron.
we think that's Tron, or no?
I'm pretty certain.
I think so too. I think on top that's the mine.
No,
in the middle is the power plant.
The middle is the mine.
Oh, okay.
And then the first one he played was the tower.
Yeah, first one's definitely a tower. We got that much.
Yes, that was the classic turn 3 natural Tron.
Yeah, no big deal. Just Tron things.
So what is he? So he's got all his dust and Thought Knot Seer that we know of in hand.
Yeah, that was actually.
And then 2 more lands.
That was strictly natural. He did no searching of any kind. I hate this
here's
deck.
Thought Knot. So it's probably gonna take.
Okay, so Thought Knot's a straight beating here. I say you take the Wrench Mine because he doesn't have a way to trigger Revolt, right?
Yeah, that's a pretty.
mean, the Rack does not trigger Revolt well. I'm not sure why Rack players don't play like 5 or 6 fetch lands. You know, like just play.
I mean, you could
4 polluted deltas and a.
He probably does have like
Catacombs or something.
Bloodstained Mires or Marsh Flats or whatever.
Most people don't. I've actually I don't think I've ever seen an actual list except for a white-black list.
You know what you can do here? You can block with Mutavault and then trigger Bolt that way.
Sure.
Which is actually pretty relevant. It's not like Chris is going to be able to remove Mutavault.
Yeah, of course. Then you're stone raining yourself.
Yeah, but you don't need to operate on many
But
lands.
you do get a draw card, so.
And you don't need many lands to operate. You can also Legend Rule an Orborg. That's another way to
sure, is another way to get Revolt.
Yeah, I've done that. I've done that in my mono black.
Does the Rack even want more than 1 Urborg? I guess if you're playing Fatal Push.
Yeah, sure. But and Chris top decks an Endbringer, so that is probably gonna bring the end of this game pretty quickly. That's probably the best card he can have against the Rack to begin with, just because it lets him draw extra cards. But
well, it's not great against Smallpox. You know, if you just play one out, it has no value, and then it gets Smallpox. But yeah, if you untap with it, it's amazing.
Yeah. So we'll see if Chris wants to attack this Thought Knot Seer here. He does. Let's see if Patrick decides Yeah, it looks like that's the line he's going to go for.
Yeah.
He kind of has to do this because, one, he needs to get Thought-Knot Seer off the board.
And he
to
knows
open up his small
he knows
box.
his pushes are
Right.
not good right now.
And
so.
otherwise he doesn't really have many things to do with Fatal Push.
Yeah, that seems fine. It's not like Mutavault's going to fight through this Endbringer anyway.
And it looks like Patrick did draw another Urborg there, so.
Okay, well, he could have triggered Revolt without that.
And a Godless Shrine. Yikes, I think that's 3 lands in
Oh, so
hand.
he's playing white-black. Okay.
Yeah, I think that's 3 lands plus a Fatal Push in hand, so don't think Patrick is going to... I mean, even the Endbringer being around for like 1 turn is almost enough advantage for Chris to probably just pull out of this.
Yeah. If you draw 1 card and then he smallpoxes it, like you're still ahead as long as you find some other threat. So there's a map, so Chris could potentially
the rest of Chris's
go get...
hand is pretty useless, though. It's just 3 lands and all his dust.
Yeah,
he already has the Seagate Wreckage in hand.
Oh, he already has
Yeah.
it. That's what I was going to say. Map is pretty sweet because he can go get Seagate Wreckage, but
yeah,
never
he already
mind.
do that, so I guess he can go get his basic waste in case his opponent Blood Moons him. You never know.
Yeah. So he could have something like Sanctum of Ugin, which is not irrelevant here, but he doesn't even have a threat in hand to trigger a Sanctum of Ugin.
So with Endbringer in this spot, I probably just hit for 5, draw a card on his turn. Seems to be the best thing. You could draw 2 cards, but I don't know.
Drawing 2 cards would be okay. I'm actually not averse to that plan. The swing for 5 isn't super relevant. Like, it's going to be a quick clock no matter how you draw it up, and drawing 2 cards might be good enough to just do that. But I think it's either way is fine.
I guess there are actually a number of effects in Patrick's deck that could kill this. Like Lily of the Veil also.
So yeah, Lily could kill it. Also, I wonder if Patrick has like 1 Dismember.
Well, he has a Funeral Charm, but that's not a...
That's not helpful right now.
True, Dismember might do it. You know what? Warping Whale is really good against Lily of the Veil as well. It lets you flash in a Scion.
Flash in a Scion, yeah, sure. Well, and also if they play it and they make you sack a guy, whatever guy, you can just put a Scion on board and then swing it at Lily next turn, and then have your Scion still. The Scion's a 1/1, right? The new Scions, yeah.
Funeral Charm, really, yeah. I guess that. Actually, I don't know if I like that. Chris discarding the All Is Dust instead of a land.
Yeah,
right. Because
it's true the rack is colorless, but
Lily the Veil isn't.
Yeah,
Lily is the other.
Yeah, Lily would be a big top deck here.
Yeah.
So
I wonder if Chris is just gonna get more mana with this map.
He could just be planning like, okay, I'm gonna get a Ballista and just kill him for.
True. Yeah, that's.
And so the more mana, the better. This matchup is heavily sorcery speed.
Yeah, that's true. Anything other than like Fatal Push and Warping Whale is not going to be...
and activating Mutavault.
No,
activating Mutavault might be the most interactive play in this matchup.
And Chris drew another Expedition map, so his hand's like literally 5 lands.
Oh my
Expedition map. Classic Eldrazi Tron. All you need is Tron,
All you need is Tron. Tron is all you need. Yeah, this Endbringer... it's funny. It is probably going to steal the game away, but it's very easy to answer with Liliana.
It's a slow end this time around. Yeah. And there for 5, Patrick falls to 10.
The funny thing about the Seagate Wreckage is that Chris can't even...
Yeah, he can't use it. He has so many lands.
Exactly. Like, and of course he's happy to keep cards in hand, but...
Raven's Crime. Well, he can discard Chris's hand, but that's not doing much since it's all lands.
I think Knight's Whisper would be an okay for these rack decks to play. What do you think?
Yeah, it could be fine.
Just try to generate some cards back, like, because the deck is not good at that.
Yeah, once you run out of cards, drawn off the top, you had a lot of duds.
Yeah, and if your opponent has any card draw at all, they're gonna have more cards than you.
Yeah.
Unless you stuck a Lily early.
And here we go, another so 3 iterations of Raven's Crime here.
Seems good. That's
Chris discard his hand.
So Chris
did draw a Dismember, but that's also not relevant.
So Chris is going to take 2 damage here, or 3 damage. So Chris is
2 damage from the rack, right? 3
no, because he didn't have a card in hand, right? So he'll take 3 at his upkeep there.
He just drew one from the Endbringer.
Oh, on Patrick's. I see. Yeah. Okay. So he'll take 2. Yeah, I was thinking that was. I gotcha.
And then the map puts another land in his hand, so he'll take 1 this go around. So how much mana do we got? We got another tower, so that's 3, 6, 9, and 4. We got 13 mana here.
What are we doing? What are we doing with
a Ballista would put it away this turn. A Reality Smasher would put it away.
And Chris doesn't have that many non-lands left in his deck, right?
No, he's drawn quite a few.
He's pulled a lot out with maps.
Patrick did make sure to hit his trigger there, even though it's likely not relevant, but whatever.
What did he just draw? Is
that
a Sanctum? Okay, a Cavern. Or it might be a gemstone.
But it looks like he drew a Ballista from the Endbringer. I think that's his other card in hand. Yeah, that's definitely his other card in hand. And we are playing Ballista for 5. Yep.
All right, so tough luck, Patrick. Natural Tron.
Yeah. I mean, he dealt with the Thought-Knot Seer well. That Endbringer, like we said, yeah, that spells the end. If he could have dealt with that on the first or second turn, though.
Well, Patrick just needed the Ripple Lily.
Yeah.
Because if he was able to make Chris sack that Endbringer at any time, I mean, he wasn't going to do much.
Right.
I mean, the Endbringer drew him what, three cards there?
I think 3.
So. Yeah, what can Patrick do differently? You take out the Wrench Mines. Those are terrible.
Yeah. Your opponent probably has an artifact to discard.
What else are you doing here if you're Patrick? So we know he's got a white splash.
Yeah, so he has white for Lingering Souls. He may have like Paths in the yard.
Path is fine. I don't like Path and 8-rack because you're trying to do some mana denial.
Yeah, that's true.
I wonder if he has Blessed Alliance. Blessed Alliance is actually pretty good against Chris.
Yeah.
Yeah. It's good against the single targets like Endbringer. It's really good against Smasher because you can remove it without
discarding.
Yeah, discarding.
Good against Thought-Knot Seer too, since that's usually the first creature they attack with.
Yeah, I like Blessed Alliance if he has it, even just like 1 or 2.
And I don't really know if he has more Dismembers or like more hard removal. Like I don't know if he has like
yeah, Dismember seems good.
Hero's Downfall or something along those lines. Like his Fatal Pushes are not going to get the job done in this matchup.
No, but what does Patrick ever do about a Worm Coil?
You concede.
Like I'm not sure. I don't think he can ever beat it.
Probably not.
I'm trying to think of some.
Ensnaring Bridge maybe. I don't know if he has that.
Yeah, so he probably has 1 or 2 Ensnaring Bridges. A lot of people lately like play 0 in the main, but then they bring in some number.
Yeah,
I've seen people even play 4, but that's
pretty strong here, right? It doesn't stop Endbringer, it doesn't stop Walking Ballista, but it can buy you a lot of time.
Yeah, the fact that it doesn't stop Ballista makes you not want to bring it in. You want to bring it in where you're gonna drop it and hose your opponent. I don't think this, especially, it doesn't stop Karn or anything really.
Yeah, I mean, you can actually do some pretty cheeky things with Ballista, right? You can remove all but one of the counters, get in for 1, put more back on afterwards or something like.
Yeah,
that's pretty sneaky. From Chris's end, probably brings in Relics.
Yeah, Relic is good for dealing with Raven's Crime
or Grafdigger's Cave. I mean, I don't know.
Grafdiggers.
They hit the
so you can't cast Raven's Crime.
And you also can't cast Lingering Souls.
Yeah, that doesn't seem worth it though.
I mean, it's basically the same effect, except you don't draw a card. Right.
Yeah, but doesn't drawing a card seem key here?
Yeah, probably.
I feel like you don't want. That seems pretty loose to go get Grafdiggers.
A Pithing Needle effect is probably also pretty good here, just for Lily the Veil
for Lily,
alone.
Yeah. Or like we talked, Mario and I were talking earlier on our way here about Spyglass.
Sorcerer Spyglass, a new one from Ixalan.
We think Spyglass is pretty good. Cardsea's playing Legacy and Vintage. It's been shown up in like Vintage Big Red deck, and it's even been making like its own. It's been used in like as a 3/4 of in this new sort of like Bant beat down. It's like an Exalted Fish deck, right, with Hierarch, Meddling Mage, and True Name Nemesis. But you use
Legacy.
Yeah, in Legacy and Vintage, and you use Sorcerer Spyglass to leverage the Meddling Mages even better.
Oh sure, yeah, that's pretty good.
But yeah,
Chris also probably wants the Basilisk Collar just so he doesn't die.
Yeah, Lifelink seems fine. The thing about the rack is you don't have any artifact removal in mono black, so Patrick would have to play something like an Engineered Explosives or like a Ratchet Bomb to try to deal with some of these cards, like Basilisk Collar.
Chris could also bring in Ratchet Bomb, to kill the rack or the
it takes out Rack and Shrieking Affliction.
And it can clean up Lingering Souls. I don't know if Chris is expecting Lingering Souls since well, he saw the Godless Shrine being discarded, I guess. I don't know if he noticed that, though.
If I'm Patrick and I have Asylum Visitor, I think I want that, right? Against the no removal.
Yeah, sure.
Yeah. Your opponent's got no removal. They probably took out their 2 Dismembers.
Oh, there's a Basilisk Collar. A Trinisphere.
Trinisphere.
2 Trinispheres.
Trinisphere does not seem
his
good.
entire sideboard here.
Does Trinisphere seem good to you?
I don't know.
That doesn't seem good to me.
And it looks like we did opt for the draw on Patrick's end.
If I'm Patrick, I'm gonna see these Trinispheres in his hand and not even give a shit. So Crystal should discard a Trinisphere here because he has 2 of them.
Yeah, I mean, the second Trinisphere is much worse than the first.
But the first one's not even good.
Yeah, not great.
I mean, Lily, your best card, Liliana, costs 3 mana.
Some Matter Reshapers. Do we have Natural Tron again? We found the second piece. All right. Can't do anything yet. We got 2 Matter Reshapers and a Trinisphere.
So the thing about the Trinisphere here is these decks, the point of the rack is to get your opponent into top deck mode, and if you're you're happy to pay, if you're Patrick, 3 mana for your top deck Thoughtseize when it's your only card and you have 4 lands in play.
Sure.
I don't understand.
Yeah,
I do not understand the Trinisphere. This
it
is
looks
really
like
bad.
Patrick's lining up, just playing the rack here. You could have another discard effect. Yeah, just all right.
So if you're Chris, I guess maybe you're bringing in the Trinispheres because you want to have bad cards to discard.
That's possible. Although Patrick doesn't have a 3rd land, so if Chris resolves this Trinisphere here, it probably will just win him the game. Contingent on Patrick not drawing further lands, but I feel like this rack tech is pretty low on lands.
It's not that low. I think it's like 22, 23.
No, he found it.
There's the 3rd land.
That probably does it now because Lily comes down, makes Chris discard a card, and then I don't really know what else.
No, and Chris. So the thing about this turn 1 Basilisk Collar is you're never gonna be able to do something with that before Liliana makes you sack the creature you attached it to, like ever.
Yeah, right.
Think if Chris played a Matter Reshaper instead of a Trinisphere here, that would have been so much better.
Well, he would have had to sacrifice it, sure, but
yeah, but then you would get a card off the top, and who knows what that card could be.
So Patrick discarded his Lingering Souls there, but he doesn't have a white source yet.
This Trinisphere is just
not
useless.
Not going to be great. The only way this could be useful is if you had this would be more useful in like a legacy variant of this deck where you had like Ancient Tomb and you could get it down on turn 1 or 2.
Right.
Then you could halt your opponent a lot.
Right. You could make his Raven's Crimes cost
but
3.
There's no way you're casting this Trinisphere before turn 3 in this deck, right?
No, there's not.
Yeah. Because even Eldrazi Temple obviously doesn't count towards it. So
no.
So Chris does have another Matter Reshaper, and Lily could deal with that, but you risk Chris drawing whatever he finds from the Matter Reshaper trigger.
I think Chris's only out here is to try to find an Engineered Explosives or a Ratchet Bomb to try to blow up.
Do you know what card is in Patrick's hand?
What?
It's a nice standard one.
A Sorcerer's Spyclad? I don't know.
No, Bantu's Last Reckoning.
Oh yeah, I've seen people playing that. Yeah, it seems better than Damnation in this deck because
Damnation.
Yeah.
You said Divination.
No, I said Damnation.
Yeah.
All right. I said Damnation. I said it strangely. I had bad intonation. I did not say Divination.
All right.
But anyway, Damnation is sometimes too costly for this deck, especially when you're smallpoxing yourself. So I like Bantu.
Yeah,
and also the downside is kind of non-existent for the rack deck. It doesn't really matter what you do your next turn.
I guess it's ever so slightly worse against Trinisphere since you can't cast your Raven's Crime on the next turn. But
Sure. Yeah.
Not a huge deal. So Patrick's going to discard the smallpox, and he's just going to play another rack effect.
Yeah, so if Chris has a Ratchet Bomb and is able to take out multiple threats here from take out the Rack and Shrieking Affliction simultaneously, that could be good. But he still has to deal with the Liliana, right? So I don't know how Chris wins this one.
Additionally, he's taking a whole lot of damage from these 2 enchantments. It's down to 12 already.
Yeah.
Or not, I guess they're not both.
So if Chris sticks a fetch land and plays all his dust, that's not bad.
Yeah,
it
but
gets rid of Lily and Shrieking
Endbringer.
Affliction. Yeah, Endbringer's not good.
So we do get to see the usefulness of Basilisk Collar here being
gain 3 life.
Being able to allow Chris not to die as quickly from these.
Do you think with the new Bolt, the Planeswalker errata they're gonna do that they'll make Death Touch kill Planeswalkers?
I can't imagine that being the case.
That would make Death Touch so much better than it is in Modern right now.
I think Death Touch is probably good enough as a mechanic.
It's fine.
Planeswalker Touch. That would have to be a super like Bolas would have that maybe.
Right.
Bolas creature.
Yeah. Whenever this creature deals combat damage to a Planeswalker, destroy it.
Yeah.
Or exile it.
Phage the Untouchable could have that effect.
Yeah. Yeah.
Or did you see the new unstable card that says destroy target player?
No, I didn't see that one.
It's called Baron Von Doom or something. It's destroy target player.
That is so funny.
So we're gonna take out Matter Reshaper here with the 1-for-1 on Bantu's Last Reckoning. Chris reveals that.
Except for it's not a 1-for-1.
Right. Well, not quite.
What do you mean not quite? It's a 1-for-2.
Sure. And Chris is gonna opt to discard Walking Ballista instead of Endbringer.
Well, I don't think he's casting Opt, but I see your point.
I guess he's just banking on drawing the 3rd Tron piece here so he can cast his Endbringer. Yeah, that must have been the line. He drew Warping Whale instead.
Yeah, I mean the Ballista would have been for 1, so. Okay, so.
It would have been for 1, but he would have had to pay 3 mana for it.
Right. Wait, yeah, that's so funny. Nice Trinisphere, bruh. Yeah, I'm just not sold on the Trinispheres.
Definitely not looking very good here.
I understand Chris's line of reasoning. Like, okay, he's got a lot of 1-drops, but if you think about how the rack plays, it just is not relevant.
Yeah.
I mean, you're right that if Patrick would have missed his 3rd land drop, things could have been a little different. But
yeah,
there's no reason to bring in.
Yeah, banking on your opponent getting mana screwed is a little risky.
Yeah, it's like you're always gonna win that
2
game.
cards to it. So he did get to use it for discard fodder there, so that was pretty good.
Yeah, he did get to. Yeah. I guess that's the nice thing. Playing against the rack, it's really a forgiving match if you're new to sideboarding.
You might as well just shove your whole sideboard in there, right?
Yeah.
Then you can just discard all your useless cards.
Right.
Make sure you always get what you need.
Actually,
so I hope Chris is taking those out. Maybe he's not, but after the showing in that game, they do seem slightly more tempting on the play though. So we'll see.
So I brought in Dramoka's Command the other day against the rack, just for the limited purpose of making you sack a Shrieking Affliction, but also possibly, fighting your Asylum Visitor or putting a counter on my guy so we can kill Liliana. But it's generally not great to bring in. It's just a 2 mana make you sack a Shrieking Affliction. But the nice thing is if your opponent doesn't have a Shrieking Affliction and they make you, they Ravens Crime you, just discard a freaking Dramoka's Command. Sure, that's fine.
There you go.
So it is true that the rack is. It's fine to bring in cards that are tangentially useful against the rack because if you have them in your opener, you can strategically pitch them.
Yeah.
But that's not good against Thoughtseizing Inquisition, so. So, hopefully Chris has Engineered Explosives.
Does Chris opt to be on the draw here?
Bomb. Does Chris opt to be on the draw? No. I think it is seldom correct for the rack player to favor being on the draw. It's not true against Mana Dork decks. I can't imagine it's true for Tron decks. You do not. I mean, the Tron player wants to be on the play, right?
Right.
Even if
yeah,
it's Eldrazi Tron.
You definitely don't want to opt for the draw. Clucky85, thanks for the follow. And also I saw earlier Zen Fail, I think it was. Thank you for the follow. We appreciate it.
Clucky, huh?
Could be C Lucky. I don't know.
Wasn't it with a K? Wasn't it K Lucky?
K Lucky, sure.
Maybe it's like your opponent has the perfect top deck and you're like K Lucky.
Sure. You're passive aggressive.
I wonder if Patrick has some sort of creature package that we're not anticipating besides Asylum Visitor and Lingering Souls.
Probably not.
What if he's got something like a Pack Rat? He probably does. My guess is he does have some number of Pack Rats in the sideboard. Like when you're a Eldrazi Tron opponent.
Can we adjust the camera, please?
When your Eldrazi Tron opponent takes out their removal, Pack Rat is pretty freaking good.
So we get a look at Chris's hand here off the Thoughtseize.
So Chalice on 1 seems
I think you
fine,
have to take that.
but in top deck mode,
Well, yeah, later it's terrible.
But
Patrick
early it's good. Yeah, I think he's got to take it.
Because if he doesn't
now.
take it, then he can just never resolve his rack effects.
Yeah, but now look at Chris's hand. Chris's hand is garbage.
Yeah, it's not looking good. I mean, he's not doing anything till turn 3 at least. Well, he could play a Ballista for 1.
He could play a Ballista for 1. But this hand is
and it won't
really hit or miss. Is that a Warping Whale?
Yeah.
So okay, that's
so
that's
actually.
good
So if I'm
interaction.
Chris here, I do not play this Ballista.
Yeah, you sit on the Warping Whale.
You just make a 1/1 with Warping Whale to ramp yourself into whatever you do next turn.
Yes, yeah, definitely. And also have a guy on board. In case things change, you don't want to ramp if you top deck a land next turn.
Like if you get a
then you can leave a guy on board and
it gives you a little insulation.
Yeah. So Patrick, I can't quite tell. I know he's got a Lily.
He's got a Brutality.
And he's got multiple lands. I assume Patrick is playing Bloodstained Mire because he doesn't have Mars Flats, or he is playing more than 4
I think
fetches.
he's playing 8.
Okay. that seems good if you're playing that many Fatal Push.
So here is Shrieking Affliction off the Mutavault with the Urborg. There we go. Maximum value there off the Urborg.
Yeah, I'm not sure what reason there is not to use the Urborg. Right?
In case it gets blown up and then you're stuck with colorless mana? I don't know. So Chris top decked the Tron land, but he didn't actually make a Scion. He just passed. He could have cast Thought Knot Seer here had he made a Scion. But he did not. I think he's definitely saving that for a...
yeah, that's probably the best play.
He's saving it for a sorcery, but now...
That doesn't... There's no sorceries you really care about.
Smallpox.
Oh, okay.
Except now he can't counter Smallpox because he played this 3/2.
Sure. Yeah, I was gonna say the hit. You don't care to using Warping Well on the hand disruption seems like not important or relevant.
That's not good.
But I guess you're right. The Smallpox, yeah, that seems fine.
So I think Patrick actually has a Smallpox. He could also, I think, Collected Brutality with Escalate to get rid of the Matter Shaper and look at Chris's hand.
That'd be pretty good. Unfortunately, well, how does that? So Matter Shape.
The full Collected Brutality resolves before the Matter Shaper trigger resolves, I think.
Yeah, you're right. What is that?
I do not know what that card is.
Oh, it's a 3-mana Mind Rot, but you discard 3 instead of 2.
Each player?
Yeah, I guess.
Okay, that is a weird one, but all right.
I guess Patrick doesn't care about the rest of his cards.
But the thing is, right, Chris just discards everything but Thought Knot Seer, and then just takes whatever Patrick's last card is, assuming he draws a land.
Yeah, but it does have to draw a land to do that.
Yeah, he does have to draw a land.
But yeah, I think you've got to pitch everything. You're right. Well, you could pitch everything but Warping Whale, but you're right. I think pitching everything but Thought Knot seems a little better. The thing is, if you don't draw the land, Thought Knot actually becomes really bad.
Yeah, that's true.
So maybe you actually just keep the Warping Whale.
I guess.
Because at least with the
I think if I was in this position, I would keep Thought, because theoretically the most likely card you are to draw is a
What do
land.
they keep?
I think he kept the Thought Knot.
Okay.
Yeah.
It's tough. That's a tough choice, I think.
Yeah.
But
so we're gonna pass here. He is gonna take some damage from the Affliction.
So he'll take 3.
3, yeah. See what Chris draws. It is
a land.
Not the right Tron piece, but it is a land. And that alone allows for Thought Knot here, which takes this Lily, and that probably puts the game away. Honestly, I don't know how Patrick can really get back from this. Well, he has his Banta as Lesser Reckonings, I guess, but...
Why is Chris in the tank right now? Okay. Yeah, pretty good draw on Chris's part. That is that is key. Oh,
Bantu or bust.
That's a Shrieking Affliction, right?
Yeah, well,
you're approaching racing speed here.
I animate Mutavault, get in there. Oh,
yeah.
You can't right now. No Thought Knot.
Yeah,
I guess on the kickback, sure.
Yeah, but you are I mean, if Chris goes to swing for 7, right, and then you hit him back for 8, you actually win that race. Yeah, you win that race, don't you? Because Patrick's at 15. Yeah. All else being equal, you do win the race.
But I mean, Chris can just like keep a card in his hand and then you're good.
Well, but if he passes turn here, you still take the next 6 because Shrieking Affliction is 1 card or fewer. So
it looks like Patrick's considering chump blocking.
Well, don't chump block. Why wouldn't you just block?
Oh, you definitely cannot kill Matter Shaper because that puts another card in his hand.
Well, yeah, but it takes a 3/3 off the board, right?
Yeah, but
I don't know. Yeah, I mean, you take the creature off the board. I guess it is relevant that. Can you choose with?
Yeah, you can just choose to not play it.
Right. If it was a land, it wouldn't automatically go to the battlefield with Matter Shaper. Doesn't it get automatically put into play if it's a permanent?
No, like you can choose because Walking Ballista you just.
Okay, sure, right.
So
okay, yeah, no, never mind. Patrick made the right play.
Right.
Then. What is that?
A Basilisk Collar.
Holy shit, that's bad.
Yeah, that'll do it. Because Patrick actually could have won here if he drew a discard spell off the top. He could force Chris to discard a card, and then the Afflictions would get him. But
wow, Chris with some huge top decks.
Yeah, this is gonna definitely enter. I don't even. I mean, this deck usually plays like 1 or 2 of these. So that was a pretty lucky draw there.
When he really lucked out with the land off the top earlier too, because he was able to Thought Knot the Lily.
I mean that was just the right play. The here.
Yeah, I mean I think you're right. Instead of
the most likely card to draw in your deck is land anytime. So.
Well, no, it's not. I mean, but it's more likely you draw anything else but land.
Okay, sure.
Yes.
If you put it that way, yes.
Lands are a plurality of your draws,
Yeah.
but they're not a majority of your draws.
Yeah, that'll do it.
Oh, that's
unfortunate.
Tough one for Patrick.
And, wow, Patrick actually would have won there had he drawn anything other, like, right? He could have just taken the last card with Thoughtseize there and killed him with the Affliction. Chris had to draw exactly past the Scholar there.
That is pretty troll. Patrick's a little salty, but Patrick's a great guy, so he doesn't salt. He just smiles and shakes your hand.
All right, well, that was a pretty good match.
That was a good match. I sort of expected it to go just like that.
Yeah.
I wasn't sure who would win, but that's sort of exactly what
had Patrick drawn like Bantu's Last Reckoning there, right? He probably would have won then, but
sure.
All right, well, that will do it for round 1. With only 20 minutes left, I don't think we're gonna find another game right now, but we will be back after that time for round 2. So stay tuned, guys. If there's anything you want to see on camera, let us know. We got a list of what everyone's playing here tonight, so we can see if the deck you want to see is here, and we will try to put it on. So
Andrew Teft playing Intruder Alarm.
Yeah.